Good afternoon, everyone. I am Mia Luyando with Badass Art. We are here today on a new coloring adventure. We're going to work on some swatches. I've just received this new Kalour charcoal pencil set, and we've talked about swatching before. We haven't actually done one yet, and I thought, well, today's a good day. So I'm going to show you. This isn't like my official swatch journal. I have a big spiral bound notebook with a lot of other swatches in it, but this is just one of a few where I just kind of make my own little squares, and I go through and I swatch each pencil. It's nothing fancy. I just like to know the colors of my pencils before I get started on a new project. And as I learn the pressure that I need to get the vividness of each color, are they soft, are they hard, are they, these are the rainbow pencils, what can I expect from the pencils that I've just gotten? And get to know your pencils. This was something that this was the way I realized that some of these pencil brands are actually the exact same pencils. I'm like, wait a second. Especially when you get into colors and names and that kind of thing. So this is just, this goes on and on, this goes on forever. So this is, it's always nice when a pencil company goes out of their way and sends you these nifty little charts. I love that. And I think Castle does it. I know that Master Art did it. They sent a huge color chart with 150 color spaces on it. And I think one day when I just, have a moment, I'm going to adopt a color chart like this that's just blank, so that I can have all of the colors that I just showed you, looking more uniform. And I know that there are people out there who sell them, and they create their own swatch charts and all, but I think I just want to create one of my own and do that. Today is not that day. So I'm going to swatch these pencils out real quick so that we can have a look at them. Now, these are charcoal. Basically, that means they're like pastel chalky. They're just like the chalks that you would buy, but they're encased in wood, and they're easier to handle and control if you have blending stumps and that sort of thing, which we'll get into when we start using them on portraits. You can control them even more. So I just received these probably about 20 minutes ago. I haven't had time to sharpen them or anything like that. I'm just kind of grabbing them. They kind of come sort of blunted. They're sharpened, but they're not really sharp. And it's just a wooden barrel. They do have a color name and number, and the stars that you see on the end are the light fast values on the pencil. Basically, what does light fast mean? The higher the light fast rating, and I believe 5 is the highest that you can get, basically means that the colors will not fade when they're exposed to sunlight or harsh environmental lights. It's kind of a museum grade. If you're a professional artist and you're selling your stuff to galleries and museums, or to people who are going to frame your work and hang them up in their homes, light fast is an important thing. You want your work to be light fast. If you're a hobbyist, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter at all if your pencils are light fast or not. So there's a lot of big to do over, oh, is it light fast? That's what it means. If you're a professional artist and you're trying to sell things to people so that they're and you can say, hey, in 100 years this isn't going to fade at all, and that's going to be important to your buyer because they're displaying it in a place where they're going to need a fade resistant pigment, then by all means spend the extra money. And I have plenty of light fast pencils and I love them. but I'm not selling my work to galleries or anything like that anymore. And so it's not high up on my list of priorities when I'm shopping for pencils. Now, as you can see, when I'm going along here, I have a lot of just like little crumbles, and that's because it's chalk. It's no different than, you know, using chalk on the chalkboard. You're going to get this little powdery excess. It's not really bloom like you get from oil or wax pencils. It's just, they're little crumbles. Now, if you take your hand, it's going to smear. So I usually keep like a brush. I get like a cheap makeup brush from the dollar store or something, so that I can just sort of, you know, wish it away, but I don't have it sitting here next to me. So I'm just going to blow on it and just get the excess crumbles away, because I don't really want to smear it on my paper. And really, all you do when you're swatching is you just kind of go down the line, make sure that you're lining them up, golden yellow P005. And these are really pretty colors. Now, as we're going along, the beauty of chalk is that you can blend it very softly and in different ways. I ordered some blending stumps from Amazon, and those did not come today, which is another reason why I didn't dive right into our portraits in Puddletown. Those are supposed to be here tomorrow. Now you can blend. You can buy blending stumps pretty cheaply on Amazon, and I will put a link in the description below. But if you don't want to invest in blending stumps, don't worry about it. A Q-tip works. Your fingers work. You don't need expensive stuff to get the same effects. So don't feel like you need to go out and make another investment, because you absolutely don't. This one is yellow ochre. And that's a nice color. That works in a lot of different things. It works in skin tones and botanicals and backgrounds. And that's a real good color. I like that. And it's not a scratchy kind of chalk. It's not ultra hard. It's not hard to get the pigment on paper. It's they're actually a pretty nice pencil. I have used Kalour, I don't know how you pronounce it, in the past, and I have found them to be a fairly reliable brand of pencils, but they are one of those brands that white label and with like So Color and some other brands. So it's very possible that, you know, if you have a set of these, and not necessarily the chalky pencils, but just their regular wax or oil-based pencils. If you have another brand like Shuttle Art or something, it's very possible that they were made by the same manufacturer, and it's the same set of pencils. So we'll make a longer video on that coming up too. But this way, you know, if you're looking for a certain color and you're really not sure, is it light, is it dark, you can just take a glance, you know, at your color chart and feel more confident when you're picking out colors for your portraits and so forth. Okay. Now we have Sakura Pink. Sakura Pink. Oh, that's a fun color. I can see a lot of fun things happening with that. Flowers and blushes and cute little fairy wings. And this is, oh, I must have skipped one, or they've got these out of order. Sakura pink. And then this one is Sakura. They did have them out of order in the little tin. So this is just regular Sakura. And this is coral. And I'm always happy when I find those warmer pinks. It's kind of like a strawberry color, or a watermelon. That's probably closer to like a watermelon color. And the next one is orange. And hopefully by, watching me swatch these pencils out, you can get a good idea of how, chalky they are, how soft they are, how nicely they go onto the paper. I mean, you can see how pigmented they are, and they are very, very vivid. I'm really not giving this a whole lot of pressure. Obviously, I'm giving it the same amount of pressure all the way across. I mean, I know some people can really light so that they can see what it looks like, but I want the full effect on my color charts. You guys do what works best for you, because it's a unique thing. Everybody's swatch charts should work best for them. It's a unique experience for each person, and as you get more comfortable making them, you'll figure out quickly, oh wait, I like it better when I can look down and see this or that, or I like it better if all the blues are here and it moves over to the purples. You'll set it up in a way that works best for you. And I can tell already that these pencils are going to need a sharp point, because I am all kinds of all over the place here. I'm not getting inside the lines good, which it doesn't matter. This is just for my use, but definitely need to sharpen these up before I start on a project. This one is called Carrot. Looks like the printing got a little messed up there. Not a big deal. I had to actually send a set of pencils back, and I really don't ever do that, because I know that sounds bad. I really don't ever do that, unless they've just sent me the wrong thing. But I ordered a set of pencils, and they were advertised as charcoal pencils, like these. They're colored charcoal pencils. And when they arrived, they were just regular oil-based pencils. It was the right box, it was the right colors and everything, but they were oiled, not chalks. And I was like, ugh. And usually, I'll still keep them, because they're pencils, and I love pencils, and I can usually find a spot. But it wasn't for me this time. I was like, nah, I don't think I'm gonna keep these. And so back they went. Now I have these. I'm very happy so far with the brightness of colors here. There is not a big selection of charcoal or chalky kind of pencils. Holbein has some, and Carbothello, and Pandafly has a small 24 set, and these, and I'm sure there are others, but those are the only ones that, you know, kept popping up over and over in my searches. These were the most affordably priced with the biggest color selection. And I wanted to get the most bang for my buck. I want to get as many colors as I can. The Carbothellos only had like 60 colors, and they were, oh gosh, maybe $80 or something like that. And Holbeins were just very expensive. They're up there with like Caran d'Ache and the luminance pencils and stuff. But these, I think these were about $40, and I have 72 colors. So I was very pleased with that. This is a pretty color. I don't use red a lot, but every now and then I'll find a shade that I kind of drawn to. Most of my images are kind of muted, so red isn't one of my biggest go-to colors. But that is definitely a pretty shade. Now we have Scarlet. Leave me a note in the comment section if there's a brand of pencils that you're thinking about getting and you want to see swatches. Chances are I probably have it around here somewhere. And if not, I'm always excited to try new things. You know, some people don't like to take the time to swatch. They're like, oh, you know, I don't have time. But I enjoy this process. I really enjoy getting to know. I say it that way all the time. I'm getting to know my pencils. You know, I work pretty hard, and you know, this is what I do, and you know, so these are the tools of my trade. This is, you know, this is work for me, but I enjoy the process of swatching. It's very relaxing. I find it relaxing, and you know, it's kind of like coloring skin. You just kind of have to enjoy the process. Boy, those two shades are pretty close, aren't they? Pretty close. This one is Bengal Red. Oh, that one's very close too. I mean, there are differences, but this one's got a little more blue in it, but they are very similar shades. Aubergine. Yep. Oh, that's a good color. I really like that. Kind of a, well, this one's called aubergine, but I would call that kind of a raisin color. Yeah, I can do a lot with that. I'm feeling a dark skin tutorial coming with aubergine. And I spent the weekend, incidentally, this is a Wednesday that I'm recording this. I spent the weekend practicing with some charcoal pencils by Panda Fly. I hadn't used charcoals in probably, I don't know, 10 or 15 years. And I wanted to, you know, practice a little before I jumped right in. And I'd forgotten how much I enjoyed them. Definitely a lot easier to control where your color's going when they're inside of the barrel of a pencil, instead of, you know, just using the sticks. Primary blue. Yep. Now this one is super soft. It's just kind of melting into this paper. Different pigments have different softnesses, and I noticed that some of the blues are just super soft. I don't know what the difference is. I'm sure it's the different materials they use to make the dye, but it just seems so much softer. And this one is teal blue. We're good. It takes a minute, you know, we're already 23 minutes into our video, and we're only on our third column. It takes a minute to swatch these out, so, you know, it's definitely an investment in time. This one is cerulean blue. It's hard to, there we go, cerulean blue. I couldn't get it to focus. Okay, and that's 10 number 1. Now we have cobalt blue. There we go. Yeah, it's really a noticeable difference in the softness of the blues. Not a bad thing. I mean, it's just it's a normal thing, I guess is what I'm saying, is you will feel a difference in the softness of different colors. and it's just the pigments and what's in them. And this one is Cypress Blue. Oh, I like this one. Good warm blues. I call this a warm blue. It's a really pretty kind of an indigo or a denim color. I'm always searching for pretty warm blues. Oh, I'm glad this set has one. That's good. Ultramarine. Yeah, I figured this one would have like a purpley flare to it, and it definitely does. Definitely more of a grape color. Pretty for night sky pictures. And we have plenty of those right now. And we're going to have more in the new book coming out. It's called Twilight Aeronauts. Lots of flying machines and clouds and night skies. Intense Blue. Now, because these are chalks, they are a little more brittle and a little more delicate as far as, you know, dropping them, breaking, because they're, you know, they're chalk. It's like dropping a regular piece of chalk. It will shatter easily. I try to be a little more gentle with these. I'm kind of rough on my art supplies, so you know, I do the best I can, but yeah, just a kind of a heads up. These are delicate, and they can break pretty easily if you drop them or, you know, handle them roughly. Now we're going into our green section. Permanent green white. Another reason I love to swatch every pencil that comes in is when people say, do you really use all those pencils? I can say, yes, I have used every single one of them. I know every one of my pencils. Ha! Emerald green. And I'm thinking, since we're kind of drawing out to a 30-minute video here, I'm going to finish these 3 and then end this one and then make a part 2 where I finish the rest of this, so that, you know, if you guys are troubled for time and you just don't have time to sit through a, you know, an hour-long video, you definitely don't have to. And if you just want to catch the ending of them, that's cool too. I try and keep these videos around, you know, 20 to 30 minutes. That way, you know, you can get the information you need and not feel like you're spending lots of time if you don't want to. My attention runs short, so I guess I just assume that everyone else's does too. And we have Prussian green. In paint, this is one of my favorite greens. And it's a little different. Every brand has their own version of colors, so it's always interesting to see each brand and their take on color. I would love to have my own brand of pencils. That's my goal someday. The names will be the fun part. Okay, so why don't we just end it there for today? We have 4 rows of these really cool Kalour soft pastel pencil colors. And we'll be back. Well, for me, it'll just be in a few minutes. And for you guys, it'll be when you're ready. Come back, join me for part 2, and we will finish out the rest of this really nifty color chart. Hope everybody's having a great day.